This system is handling painted cylinders with lids on them. The customer does not want to show the parts, so we're just showing this system running in a dry mode. The operator would load pallets of parts onto the front of the conveyor. The conveyor will index the parts up to the end. The robot will come down, use vision and a laser distance sensor to detect the parts. So we lift those parts up and then we place them in what we call the trucks. Everything has RFID on the system, so we track every part in and out. These parts have a lid on them, so this robot clamps the part into position and rotates the end of arm tool to take the lid out, and then it will drop it into a bin and they'll put the lid back on when the entire process is finished. So we have to clean out the inside of the heart as best as we can. So it's just a linear guide, comes down with the vacuum. Each part gets vacuumed out. At this point, the operator will inspect the interior of the part to make sure there's no debris left from the vacuum. After that process, we have an exterior inspection. So we come down, lift the part up, and spin it with a servo 360 degrees using key-nth laser profilers to make sure that the parts all meet quality standards. The next station is just to allow the operator to remove the part from the system, do a manual inspection, and repair parts as necessary. This mechanism brings the fin stamp in on both sides of the part and marks a part number on the part. Since we marked the part, we now have bare metal, so the next process in line is a paint robot. The paint robot inside will paint both sides of the part to prevent rust. Once the paint is completed, it will transfer down to the key-nth camera system for both sides of the part to inspect that it was painted and that the dot beam part number is valid and readable. The next process is a FANUC LR mate. We're actually printing with an inkjet printer the barcode and some man-readable data on the part. Pretty much every single operation, we track those operations and then add information to it after the fact to make sure that all data is present and we know where the part has been through the system so we don't double do a specific operation. This is a lanolin application. It's another FANUC paint mate that sprays lanolin, which is sheep wool oil, over the area that was painted. That is for an extra layer of rust prevention. Now the final process, the parts come around to the outbound and the robot will pick the part and then use vision and another key-nth laser distance sensor to detect where the pockets are in the cart to make sure that the parts go in location correctly. After this process, these parts are taken out with a tugger cart and go to the next process where they get warmed up in an oven and then filled with liquid.